Hey there, I'm Brittany Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast. I am moving right along in my series of breaking down my tech stack. And I feel like I say this about every single program that I talk about, but this really is one of my favorites. Although it's kind of just minimal. It doesn't get me like super excited like Flowdesk or Kajabi, but I couldn't run my business without it. So today I'm going to be talking about Zapier. So running a small business, it's basically a full-time sport, I feel like. You're juggling leads, onboarding clients, launching offers, writing content, and somehow you're remembering to eat, right? Do you feel me on this one? But what if some of that hustle could run in the background without your constant supervision? Spoiler alert, it can. And the MVP of the game is Zapier. And I know I say that about all of them, but this is really a really good one. That is a game changer. So think of it as the glue holding your business tech stack together without any of the sticky mess, right? I'm just going to show you today exactly how I use Zapier in my business and 5 more ways that you can let it work in your business. So first of all, what is Zapier? So Zapier is an online automation tool that connects your favorite apps. So think Gmail, Slack, Google Sheets, Kajabi, Flowdesk, Stripe, Acuity Scheduling, you name it. Zapier probably works with it. So you set it up once and it runs in the background like your own digital assistant. It's awesome. So it works using Zaps, which are workflows that connect 2 or more apps to automate tasks. So a Zap has a trigger, and that's something that happens in one app, and an action, and Zapier does something in another app. So for example, a new lead fills out a form in maybe Kajabi, and then Zapier automatically adds them to your email list in Flowdesk. Or maybe someone books a call on Acuity, and then they get a personalized Slack notification and they're added to a Google Sheet. So those are just some examples of how you can use Zapier. There'll be a trigger and then an action. So I'm going to talk about how I personally use Zapier in my business. So here are just 5 real Zaps that save me time. It reduces human error, and it makes sure my systems are always working behind the scenes. So number 1 is when someone schedules a consult, they get added to an email list. So instead of manually chasing down emails or missing out on nurturing opportunities, I've got a Zap that takes an Acuity, or if you use Calendly, booking and sends that lead straight into my Flowdesk email. That way I can follow up, stay top of the mind, and show up in their inboxes like a champ. So that is one that I use. Another one that I use is when someone signs up for a program on Kajabi, then I start an email sequence in Flowdesk. So let's be real. Nobody wants to buy a digital product and then hear crickets, right? This app makes sure every buyer gets a seamless welcome experience. The second someone enrolls in a Kajabi course or program, then Zapier drops them into a beautifully branded Flowdesk sequence. So it's like handing them a warm towel and saying, welcome aboard, right? So that is another way I use it. Then the third way that I use it is when I add names to my Airtable database, they get added to my email list. So Airtable is my go-to for tracking everything from client leads to podcast guests, all those places. But instead of keeping these contacts in the spreadsheet, Airtable, Zapier automatically pushes them into Flowdesk so I can keep them in the loop and there's no more copy and paste. Another thing that I do, for example, like Facebook groups. You can, when somebody signs up, they can give you their email address. I can add that email address to an Airtable database and their information. And again, that will send them, then it automatically sends them to Flowdesk and adds them to my email list. Okay. Another way is when I publish a blog post on WordPress, it gets shared on Facebook and LinkedIn. So I love a good blog post, but sometimes I forget to promote, right? So that's a whole other job. So I made a Zap that turns every new blog post into a shared post on my different social media platforms. So I just hit publish once and then Zapier handles the rest. So it's maximum visibility and minimum effort. That's what we love, right? And then number 5 is when a new client signs up, I have a Zap that creates a record in Airtable. So they sign up, Zapier adds them to my Airtable, which I kind of use as a CRM. So then I can track their progress, notes, onboarding without missing a beat. Okay, those are the ways I do it. I have a bunch of different Zaps that I use, but those are kind of an overall overview of what I do. So, but there are more ways that you can use Zapier because it connects with like 6,000 apps. So there's so many different programs that it connects to. So, like maybe I didn't mention an app that you use or a program that you use, more than likely Zapier will connect it. So it's not just limited to these ones. So I'm just going to go through a few that I have either set up for clients or other ways that it can be used. So, okay, send automatic Slack notifications when you make a sale. You can get that dopamine hit and stay on top of your income goals. You can set up a Zap that notifies you or your team via Slack whenever you get a new Stripe sale, maybe a ThinkIt purchase or Shopify order. So that is another way you can use it. Create calendar events for new tasks or projects. So Trello, ClickUp, Notion, Asana, whatever you use to manage your tasks, Zapier can automatically create a calendar event whenever a new high priority task is added. So this is great for keeping your week intentional and organized. Another way is send yourself a reminder if an invoice hasn't been paid in 7 days. So forget that awkward follow-up. Use Zap to trigger a Slack message, email, or task in your project manager if an invoice remains unpaid after X amount of days. It's like this digital collection assistant, right? Another way is send welcome kits automatically when someone fills out a form. So maybe you have a welcome packet that you like to send or a free download or a resource bundle you want to send after someone completes a form. Zapier can automate that. Whether it's a type form, Google Forms, or Jot form, you can trigger an email, file delivery, or even a personalized Loom video link. So you can automate that. Another way you can do it is back up your important data weekly to Google Drive or Dropbox. So if you want to keep your data safe and sound without manually dragging files around like it's 2009, you can set up a Zap that backs up certain files, client notes, or even social media content into a folder every week. And then you have that peace of mind because it is powered by automation. So how do you get started on Zapier? So maybe you open an account, and just an FYI, you can sign up for Zapier, and I believe this is correct, unless they've changed it in the last few months, but you can sign up for Zapier for free and you get 3 Zaps for that free plan. But again, if you want more, you have to upgrade and pay the monthly amount or the annual amount, right? But so once you set up an account in Zapier, pick one task that you hate doing manually, like copy, pasting emails into your list, whatever it may be. And then the next thing is check if your apps are supported. Now, Zapier does connect over 6,000 apps. So more than likely, it will use those apps or those programs that you're using. And then you can also search for a Zap template, or you can build your own. It's very easy. It's drag and drop editing. So it makes it super easy. You can just drag and drop and change things up. And then the last thing you need to do is you just test it. Make sure that your trigger and actions are firing correctly. So it will maybe pull up a record. So for example, if I am doing a Kajabi, program that somebody signs up for, it'll have me connect to my Kajabi, and then it will search for a record, and I can see a record in there. And then I'll tell it what to do. And then it'll give you the test so you can test it. So make sure that you test it and make sure that it's working properly. And after that, you get to celebrate because you are an automation rock star. It's what we love, right? So remember, you don't have to automate everything right away. Start with just one task and then add another. And before long, your business will be running like a well-oiled machine powered by all these little zaps. And it just makes running your business awesome because, you're saving time. I always say this, and I'm going to say it again, minutes add up to hours. So it's really important to find these ways that you can automate your business. So here's the truth. Automation isn't about replacing you. It's about supporting you so you can focus on the high impact money making goals that you have. Whether you're onboarding clients or you're publishing content, sending follow-up or nurturing leads, whatever it may be, Zapier helps you do more with less. And that is less stress, less time, and way less burnout. So try Zapier and kind of play around with it. It takes a little bit of time and practice to figure it out. If you are still stuck in overload, reach out to me and I am happy to help you. We do go over this in my membership. I talk a lot about Zapier and how to automate things in your business. So if you are interested in learning more about Zapier and how it can work in your business, you can join my membership. I will put the link in the show notes, but it is brittanyschroeder.com/membership. And if you use the code SUMMER, it will be 50% off to join my membership. So there you go. Another awesome automation that will save you so much time in your business and help you scale. I hope y'all found this helpful and I will see you next time. Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.